Yes. Tough, it's not for you. It's not food. Oh my god.
It looks really tiny. I don't know if it's like a kid's meal.
Jess, what are our topics for today?
Today we're going to talk about a dopamine menu. What is it? Why is it trending on TikTok? How to create your own, and then maybe some examples that Linda and I came up with for ourselves.
All right, cool.
Yeah, but before we get into that, we have some stuff we came up with the last week or so. Do you want to go first or me?
I'll go first.
Okay.
So I was scrolling on Reddit, like everyone does, and I was on the advice tab. So, okay, I'm going to read you what someone posted.
Okay.
Let me know what you think. Okay, so this guy started dating his girlfriend, probably now wife. They've been together for 11 years. And when they first started dating, they were like 16 years old. And the girlfriend asked the boyfriend, "What's your favorite meal?" And he said, "Chicken Parmesan." So she learned to make chicken Parmesan. She made it really, really well. She's been making it for 11 years, thinking that that is his favorite meal, but it's not. So the guy, poor guy, messed up chicken Parmesan and chicken Alfredo. And now he's like,
oh no.
Do I tell my wife? Innocent mistake, but it's been 11 years now. Do you just suck it up and pretend chicken Parmesan is like your favorite meal? Do you tell them the truth? What do you do?
Okay, first of all, I don't even know what's the difference between chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmesan is like tomato sauce and then you put Parmesan cheese on top?
Yeah, so it's like a breaded, fried, like chicken kind of cutlet, I guess. And you would eat that with like, I guess like Parmesan melted on top. And like chicken Alfredo is like white sauce chicken and like linguine noodles, I think.
So it's a pasta.
Yeah, so it's a pasta dish versus like a non-pasta dish.
Wow.
So really different. But do you fess up that 16-year-old you didn't know the difference between chicken Parmesan and chicken Alfredo?
I think so. I would.
You would?
Yeah, just because I guess the delivery matters. So maybe do a little bit of homework. I'll look up some chicken Alfredo recipes and think about where to get the ingredients, and then when I tell him, I'll be like, actually, I think I might like this one. Do you want to make it together? So that it makes it.
That's quite smart.
Yeah. What about you? What would you do?
Oh gosh, I mean, it's such a small thing, but I think I would be like, that was my old favorite. This is my new favorite. Like, I don't think I could bear to fess up and be like, I made this mistake for 11 years and I didn't tell you for 11 years. I don't think I could bear to do that.
That's true. And I mean, people change.
People do change.
So it's not something you used to like. Maybe you're just tired of.
Yeah,
just
not my favorite anymore. And I mean, it's such an innocent little thing too. Like, I thought that was just really adorable when I read it because it's such an easy mistake.
Ah, that's cute. Okay, so for me, it's Taylor Swift is gonna be in our city next week.
Yeah.
So our entire town is just crazy with the Taylor Swift fever. There are signs everywhere. All the restaurants are coming up with their Taylor Swift specials. Yes. Yeah. And then McDonald's also came up with their best friend combo. Yeah. So we got it. And it comes with the
That's adorable
friendship bracelet. Do you want to open it?
Yes. Tough, it's not for you. It's not food. Oh my god.
It looks really tiny. I don't know if it's like a kid's meal. Hopefully it fits.
Do you get yours open?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Okay, it's a bracelet toffee.
What does it say? It says share fries later.
Share fries later? Yes. Oh, that is cute. What do you think, Toffee? You like it? That's adorable. Oh, all right. Bye-bye, Toff. Oh, I'm having trouble putting mine on.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll help you put yours on and you can help me put on mine.
Oh my gosh. It's really tight.
Oh. I don't want to break it.
Okay.
Okay.
It's okay. We'll just leave it like that.
Okay, I'll play with it. Oh, that is so cute. That's really adorable.
Yeah.
I love the idea of friendship bracelets. Like, I remember making them like as a little kid, and it's so nice that like so many things that we liked as little kids are just kind of like coming back and like, you know, it feels like I'm healing my inner childhood.
Yeah, I get ya. I know, and I can't imagine what it's going to be like here in the city next week.
It's going to be crazy.
It's her very last tour.
Yeah.
Like very last concert of the entire tour.
Yes.
So it's like the end of an era.
Pretty much. She's been doing this for what, 2 years?
Yeah.
And man, I was devastated not getting tickets.
I know.
I really wanted to get tickets.
I can't say I'm a big fan. Like I know all of her songs. But the FOMO is real. Yeah, it's like it's so intense.
Yeah,
this is everywhere.
Tickets are going for crazy, crazy expensive prices. Like, someone that I know bought tickets like right when the tickets were first coming out, and he got really good seats. They were like right up at the stage floor, so super close to Taylor. He bought them, I think, the pair of them for $2,000 something. He recently sold them for $14,000.
No. Yes. So crazy.
Yeah, $14,000 for a pair of tickets. Granted, like up close tickets, you're gonna see Taylor like right up close, but $14,000.
That's, I don't know. I get that it's like a very special moment. Like I really haven't seen any concert that has this much hype, but
yes.
I think, what was the original price? 4,000?
So it would have been a bit over 1,000 each.
Like even at that point, even at 1,000,
yeah,
I don't think I've paid that much money to see anything.
No, I don't think so either. But yeah, would you? Okay, if you were put in his position, you spent that much money on the tickets, but you knew you could make this big of a profit. Would you sell that experience, or would you go?
Oh man, that's really the question. Like, does everything has a price?
Because I mean,
it would be hard not to sell.
It'd be
like
really
that's
hard.
Like a $10,000 profit.
It is. It's a very good vacation. You know, like a really good vacation. You could go somewhere for like, 2-3 weeks, living it up, or just blow it all in one night.
That's, you know what, I asked Lam a similar question. Lam's my partner. Because like I joined all these contests. I was like, okay, if I really did win tickets, would we go or would we sell it?
Yeah.
And then first like immediate answer, he said he wants to go to the concert.
Yeah.
But then I showed him Ticketmaster how much they are going for, and there is a huge hesitation. Like when there's $10,000.
Yeah. It's really insane. But it's honestly, it's really kind of cute to see like all of this like signage and like art go up. I do wish it was something like our city invested in like year round, just to make the city nicer. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous come that weekend, because you and I both live downtown. It's going to be so crazy busy.
Yeah, it's a triple threat. It's the concert, and then Cirque du Soleil is also in town, and it's a Canucks game.
It's a Canucks game too?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah, so
that is a triple threat.
Yeah. So there's an article that just came out, I think in Toronto, they had like an impromptu party outside of the stadium.
Yeah.
So even folks who don't have tickets can kind of just show up and like party with everybody. So in Vancouver, they already said no.
Yes.
They don't allow that. They're like, if you don't have tickets, don't even come near downtown.
Yeah, it's going to be gated off.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. So I think next episode we're gonna tell you what happened.
Yeah.
If everything went according to plan, and if there's any crazy stories that we
if we got any free concerts.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll hear the bass line.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Which lead us to our topic of the day, which is Dopamenu. So I first heard about this on TikTok, and it was just one of those pre-recorded sound bites. It's like, this is my dopamine menu. So that's kind of got my interest. It's like, what is it? So essentially, it is originally it came from a content creator on YouTube that makes content for folks with ADHD, like how to live with ADHD. And one of the symptoms of people with ADHD is they have a problem kind of managing their dopamine levels. So for someone, usually something that gives great satisfaction, like finishing your homework or like completing a task, that typically gives you a nice dopamine hit. But for folks with ADHD, it kind of does not give as much. So because of that, then they're always kind of, they don't feel as fulfilled. So they will not finish task as much as others would. So one trick or like a tip, the content creator, I'll link her original video in the comment section, is that to come up with a menu of what gives you dopamine boost. So it can be something as little as making a cup of tea or coffee, or something that takes a little bit more effort. So kind of similar to what you would see a normal menu. There are appetizers, there is a main course, and then there's also something called specials, a dessert, and side menu. So I'll go over quickly what each of these things are. Basically, appetizers are something quick, right? Something that's like you can do immediately to kind of boost your mood or give yourself a mini dopamine boost. So, for example, doing getting a tea or turning music on. What are some of the items that you had on your appetizer menu?
Let's see. I think probably eating just a little sweet treat, just like a little candy. Let's see, taking a breath of air, or just like looking at some greenery, playing around with like little toys I have on my desk. Something very within reach and that I can just do immediately. So super accessible stuff.
And then the next item is the main course. So this obviously has a lot more substance to it. It might take a little bit of planning, or it might take a little bit more expensive, like it might cost a little bit. So examples are, for me, hot yoga is one of my go-to for happiness, I think. I wasn't actually that into yoga when I first tried it. Like I thought it was like the most boring thing in the world. And like I just couldn't focus or be into it. So it really took a couple years later coming back to it, and hot yoga specifically. So it's like you're in a 40-degree room. So that really helps with my concentration because I'm literally like just surviving in that room. But it's afterwards, not only do I feel very warm and cozy, like for the entire night, the best sleep ever. And I think it's a really good kind of mental practice as well. But this would be a main course for me because obviously I can't just impulsively like, I mean, you could, but it takes, looking for the right studio. You kind of need a yoga mat or so it takes a little bit of a planning and to get into it. What's something that's like a main course for you?
I was actually just thinking about this last night because, when you think of like dopamine hits, you think of something, that's really easy, really immediate. And I think the thing that you kind of have to keep in mind with like an entree is that, it's going to take like a little bit of work, but then you get like an immense satisfaction right after that. And I was like, one of mine is like cleaning my home. I'm not that big of a fan of doing it. It's, very time consuming, takes me like, an hour and a half to like 2 hours. It's quite tiring sometimes too. And I was thinking about it last night. It's been a bit of a while since like I've cleaned my home. And I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to feel so good afterwards. And I did. So this morning I actually did clean my home. It took like 2 hours. But like just afterwards, just admiring your work and knowing like the sweat that you put into like creating like your beautiful home, it was like a really great big dopamine hit for me. Yeah. But I think like another one that I actually really enjoy doing is going on like cafe dates. Whether
that's
with
right.
friends, whether it's by myself.
Yeah.
It's just something about like absorbing like I guess like the vibes or like the ambiance of a cafe and like a good drink, a nice little pastry. Like you just feel so good like in the moment. And that one I don't have to earn.
Yeah. Totally. I just trying to think of one other example. So something that like Linda and I got into maybe a couple of months ago is journaling. So it was Linda who brought the idea up originally. It was like I don't know if you've seen those TikTok videos where they have like a ton of stickers and then they just like decorate the heck out of it. And that was something that I wanted to do for a long time, specifically junk journaling. So I've always had a habit of, some would call it hoarding, but I just like keeping receipts or pamphlets, like stuff that you would usually just throw away, but like, or tickets, like back when we actually went to the movie theaters to watch movies, like all of the ticket stubs from the movies, I would keep it. So I would have a giant pile of it. And it always just kind of sat there with no purpose. So I kind of go into that with combined with the journaling. So then there's a home for them. So that definitely take a little bit of setting up. Like Linda and I went out to, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Like we just bought, a normal notebook and then kind of whatever we had on hand and then just started. Like there's no rules.
No,
you can write in it. You don't have to write in it.
You can draw on it.
Yeah.
Like one thing that I've actually started doing is just like not writing my own poetry, but like copying poems that I really like.
Like putting it into
there.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, like as you said, like any like receipts, any like takeout menus, it's just a really nice way to collect memories, of like stuff that you've been, because it's so easy to like forget.
Yes.
Yeah, but now you can have it on hand, and it's such a nice thing to like look back and like flip through as well.
Yes, it's like one of my favorite things to do, going back. Yeah. Some of the stuff I wrote, I do cringe. I'm like, what was I thinking?
I never read it, but I love to admire the aesthetic of it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And one of my favorite part about it is like a travel journal. So like knowing that I'm going to put it into my journal after. So then when I am actually traveling, then I'm kind of like keeping an eye out for like things that are pretty, so that and it doesn't take up a lot of space because it's just paper.
Yeah.
So I kind of just keep them, and then I don't journal right away. So usually I'll wait like a couple months before I go back to my stash. So I'm kind of reliving the entire vacation, like through all the things I collected and decorated. And then a couple months later, when you flip through the journal, then you're reliving it again. So it's like, you're just stretching that main course, or actually in this case it would be a special, because a trip is requires even more planning, even bigger budget, and it's not something that you can just go right away. So kind of just extending that whole experience.
So I guess you could kind of see like the trip as like a special, and then the act of journaling, the entree.
Yes, for sure. And then the last category is dessert. So same thing with desserts in real life, is satisfying, but then only in moderation.
Yes.
So social media scrolling, playing video games, binging Netflix. So the idea is not to stop doing all of these things. It's just that the dopamine actually deteriorates over time. So then when we do these activities, if it's more than a certain period, it actually makes us, how you just feel really bad if you like scroll TikTok for like 3 hours straight. You're like, oh no, what have I done?
Yeah, you fell into the hole.
Yeah, which is okay once in a while, but just like dessert in real life, better in moderation.
Yeah. So like what I've actually done to help me keep it in moderation is I've got like a well-being app on like my Samsung phone, and it sets like a restricted timer on certain apps. So for Instagram, I'm trying really hard to just use it for like an hour and a half only every single day, which is a really big improvement, guys, because I can easily like clock in 4 or 5 hours of just like accidental scrolling. Yeah, even like just like sweet treats itself, I'm like trying to curb it a little bit, but man, with the holidays, it is hard.
Oh my gosh, it's just like chocolate everywhere. Not just buying it, like people gifting it to you also. Yeah.
And like I love gingerbread.
Ooh.
And now this is like the gingerbread season. I'm like, oh man, but so like part of me is like, oh, this is like my season to like get gingerbread, but also
right, limited because you can't even have as much of it.
It's not a year-round thing, but then I'm also trying to like keep in mind that moderation is like the best long term. And I love sweet treats enough that I'll find any excuse to have them. I'll be like, okay, gingerbread is like the winter sweet treat. Come spring, there's going to be like another spring specific sweet treat.
Yeah. It was, what was it? It was pumpkin spice that just passed.
So now we're into gingerbread season.
Yeah, that's true. So even though it is like seasonal, but there's always the next seasonal special. So that was the other recommendation the creator provided, is some of these items you want to do more, but it's not as accessible. So kind of once you have a list nailed down of like what you want to do more of, what you want to do less of, now you kind of want to organize and set yourself up for success. So I think in her example, for example, she wanted to play the guitar more often, but that requires like taking it out of the case. Like, so in order to help herself do that more often, she actually took the guitar out of the closet, actually put it right in the living room, unzip it. So then it's like, you see it, first of all, so you remember, I want to do this. And then it's accessible. So every time you sit on the couch, maybe instead of turning on Netflix, then she'll reach for her guitar.
Oh yeah, I've actually started recently doing that. So one of my entrees would be like exercise, but to make it more accessible for me, we got like a walking pad recently. So it's like very slim, slides right under the couch. So now if I'm just gonna, be watching TV like at home or watching a movie, I'll take out the walking pad and just walk while I'm watching the movie. So it's just making things more accessible to you, like removing that barrier, removing that excuse where you can't be like, oh, this is, too tiresome or too troublesome to set up. Well, now you don't have that excuse.
I think one thing for me is I'm a crafter, but then I start multiple projects and I never finish it. So what I start to do is if I have something, an ongoing project, then I leave it out. Like right in the living room, like right next to the dining table. So it's kind of, then I don't forget about it. And then I kind of watch TV and also finish my project at the same time. Yeah. So another key point with this is has to be something that is reasonable and accessible. So I mean, we all want to travel around the world or like go Euro trip for a month, but is that is that accessible right now? Like, is that something that is like you're achievable? So you kind of have to limit your list to what is realistic, what is I can make happen. And once you have that list down, and then you separate it into the different categories.
And it's a rotating list too. Like it's a static list where you get to decide, okay, this thing no longer really brings me that much dopamine. I'm going to take it out. And, it's not a chore list either.
Yes.
Like you can have, cleaning, exercise as your entrees, but you have to keep in mind, these are things that are going to make you happy. These are not things that you
It's not a to-do list.
Yeah. It's not a to-do list. And I think that really sets your mindset when you start like creating your own list, is that ultimately what all these activities are supposed to do is give you a dopamine hit. Whether that's, a little bit easier or accessible task, like maybe eating just like a piece of candy as like your appetizer, or, something a bit more involved, like exercise or cleaning your house.
Yeah, that's something I have to remind myself too, because the moment like there's too many things on my to-do list, then all of a sudden I just don't want to do anything. Like it's like it's too overwhelming. Like now this just feels like work, but it should never ever be work. Like these are all optional. These are supposed to make you happy, right? They're supposed to bring you up. So I never let it like become a chore. Yeah, thanks for that. Which lead us to another kind of positive thinking that Linda came up with, which is kind of like similar to this, and it's called a glimmer.
Yes, so it's called a glimmer. So I was just scrolling through my inbox actually. So I have been following Cupcakes and Cashmere for like 18 years now. And she was the one that I found out about glimmer through. So glimmers are micro moments of goodness, kindness, and well-being. They are small moments that make you feel a sense of calm, connection, peace, and safety. Little things that you notice that instantly just kind of like help elevate your mood. So for me, that would be like crisp morning air. Like, you smell it and then it's like a deep breath in and you're immediately like relaxed and you're just uplifted. So they're not things that like they're not necessarily moments that you create for yourself, but just kind of moments that you stumble upon. So, another example is like a hug from a loved one. Maybe you don't necessarily feel like you need a hug, or you're not even seeking out a hug, but just that like really nice moment of like connection with another person, brings you up. Or, having a sip of like your favorite tea. Or, one thing that I really love doing and receiving, is sending like memes where to like my girlfriends where I'm like, thinking of you. And it's just like, a really cute text letting them know that, you mean the world to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing about living in Vancouver is that it rains a lot, like all the time. Like we're also called Vancouver for a reason. So every time, even like a sliver of sun, or even, if the forecast says it's going to rain all day, but like for 2 hours we get a break, it's just that the city just comes alive. It's incredible. Like, I'm like, where did all these people come from? Like, it's just, we're just all so happy that it's sunny for even a split second. And this also plays into like that thinking of how when you first learn about something, and then after that you kind of see it everywhere. So I kind of reminds me of that, is like, if I kind of nail down these like glimmer moments, like this is what makes me happy, like it's just something so simple, so easy, but if I'm present and then I notice them, it was like all of a sudden like, whoa. Yeah
exactly. So that's the whole point of it, is that once you identify these glimmers, you'll notice that these glimmers actually happen more often than you think they actually do. So the whole point is, life is kind of better with them.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's everything we have for today.
Yeah. I think we've reached the end of this particular episode, guys.
If you have any glimmers of your own, or if you have a dopamine menu that you would like to share with us, please leave it down in the comments. And also, of course, any questions that you would like to ask us, you can always leave them or email us as well. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.